Welcome back. I hope you're having a good Saturday. Happy Saturday to you. This is the Real Estate Zone, all the information you need in this market, in today's market, airing every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on Financial News and Talk at AM 1450 KFSD. We are thrilled to have head coach Mark Carlson with the Escondido Charter High School joining us today. Welcome, Coach.
Hey, Mike, it's good to be here.
Hey, it's great to have you, man. We're going to have a great time. We're going to talk a little bit about one of my favorite subjects, which is football, and we're going to talk about one of my favorite programs, which is your football program. Let's talk a little bit real quick about the new leadership. You're the new head football coach. I know you coached before. What did you do before for him?
At Escondido Charter, I was the special teams coordinator last year, as well as defensive back coach.
Right. Congratulations on the new job.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, it's good to be here.
So let's talk about the coaches that you've surrounded yourself with, Coach B, the rest of them. Let's talk about them, talk about kind of, what they're bringing to the program.
Well, early on when Coach Schneider, our superintendent, hired me in December, obviously looking at last year's staff, seeing who would be a good piece, who wouldn't be a good piece, and whatnot. We chose to go with a couple new guys on staff, and also to carry over a couple older guys. We have Coach Darren Glendo, he's been coaching at Escondido, Orange Glen, SP for a number of years. Kept him on as our defensive coordinator. He's got a wealth of knowledge. We got Coach Greg Brosi. He was the active head coach last year, and our athletic director at Escondido Charter, but he will be serving. He serves us on the offensive defensive line. Coach Vidasek is he coached over at Heritage Digital Academy with me, and now he's over teaching history at Escondido Charter.
Right.
He'll be our receiver coach. He brings a lot of energy. He's also the high school basketball coach as well.
Right.
Coach Green, Lionel Green, he was over at our elementary campus last year and served as our flag football coach, but he's been itching to get on the football field and to coach and tackle football, and he'll serve.
You can tell.
The guy's up all night, 2 a.m. reading books and online looking at Flexbone, Wishbone type of material. So he's really getting after it. Like I said, Coach Chemo, Michael Bullison, we call him Chemo. He's also be serving on our JV and varsity lines. He was with us last year as well. And Coach Gary Dillard, he comes in. He was at Army Navy Academy in Mountain Empire.
Yeah.
Played high school football at Oceanside High School, so he'll coming in as well and helping us out. Coach Bob Ray helping us. He'll be taking over our manager program, a new manager program. Actually, we finally are getting new student managers to join us, and they will basically be controlling a lot of the water and a lot of the equipment throughout practice, which is going to help us tremendously. Seeing that we only have a 2-hour window to operate and get everything in. So hopefully I'm remembering everyone. I think I got everyone here.
You're doing a great job. One of the things that I wanted to mention to you, and I know I've mentioned this to you before, but I wanted to mention it to you on the air. I've been to a lot of these practices. You know that I'm there a lot, and I've seen an energy there that I haven't seen in a very, very long time with a football program. And one of the things that I've seen is you guys are mixing it up a little bit. You're doing some new things, bringing some new things in. I dropped my son off at football camp, and there were a whole bunch of kids that were shaving other kids' heads. I mean, talk a little bit about what you guys did at basketball at football camp and what that was like. I mean, I know it's something new, but man, they came out of there, they were absolutely bouncing. They were really, really energized.
Well, I'm a huge believer in getting the team away from their normal setting in their house and their family, and getting them all together in an unknown area. Obviously, known area when I take them out of the boonies, but we taking them out of their what they're comfortable with, and taking their phones away, taking their MP3 players away, and whatnot, and just having them be forced to talk, be forced to get to know each other, and
it worked.
and it worked. And the haircuts is just a great thing that they'll always remember for the rest of their life. Is the first night we had kids shave mohawks. We had one of our players, sophomore running back Matula, he looked like an old man because he just cut the top of his head, left the side. So it was awesome the first time we were able to do that. And you know what? Like there's a lot of some players were I like my poofy hair. I like my long locks, but they were able to cut it as well because they saw basically the unity starting to form right there.
Yeah. And
my whole goal since I took over this program is to de-individualize it in every degree.
And you can tell you're doing a great job with it.
Yeah, and we are all about, in a world of max preps, of college scholarships, of parents breathing down your neck for X, Y, and Z. Can you hook up the whole recruiting thing? I think it's just absolutely vital that we go back to the basics of football.
Right.
And the basics are at the core is team. All for one for all. and taking all that other stuff. All that other stuff is cancer. And I had a bad high school experience on that level, so I come more passionate into this with that memory in my head of how much that devastated my high school team, my senior year.
Yeah, and that passion's evident, and I hope your neck's not too hot for me breathing down it. I mean, but here's what I wanted to get to specifically was there's a new attitude, and it's obvious. It's prevalent. You can see it. You can see it in the coaches. You can see it in the players. You can see it in the practices. I mean, and I'm telling you, it's contagious. The other night, and I don't know how much of this we should talk about, but the other night we had a Midnight Madness deal, which was awesome, by the way. And I showed up about 12:15, something like that, to try, and I'm standing there trying to find my kid, and an Escondido police officer shows up. And I told you about this. He shows up, and he pulled up, and I kind of walked over, and I said, "So did you come to get your pads? Because they're handing out pads today, right?" And he goes, "Man, I wish." And he jumped out of his cruiser, and he wanted to, and he got fired up watching you guys fire these kids up. And it was a very, very cool thing for him to stand there and talk about you. He asked about you, and I told him about you and told him about the program and the whole 9 yards. And you don't have much bigger fans of this program than me. And I absolutely told him about you guys and about everything that you're doing. And he was watching you guys do your thing. And, the first thing he said was, "If they need any help, let me know. Jump in there," right? So if somebody really wants to help you like this Escondido police officer, how do they go about